About time you got home. Did I startle you? Well, that's concerning. I definitely thought you noticed my presence. You've been out of the game for a while, but I didn't think your senses had gotten that dull. Hopefully we can fix that. I'm here, old friend, because I have a job offer for you. Not interested, but you haven't even heard it yet. And it's a good one. A really good one. Planned it all myself, so you know it's worth your while. Come on, at least hear your cut before you get all riled up. Don't you want to know how rich I can make you? The answer is very, very rich. The catch, old friend, is that it isn't exactly an easy job. But it will be the last one you ever have to do. I mean exactly what I said. It's not an easy job. It will take a lot of work, a lot of precision, which is why I'm coming to you and not anyone else. I know we've not kept in touch much since our hostage days, but you're the best actor I know, and I need the best actor I know for this job. Don't lie to me. I know you're still flexing those muscles. On a smaller, quieter scale maybe, but I've kept tabs on you, you know. Nothing personal. I keep tabs on everyone. Information is my game. Imitation is yours. That's why we always worked so well together. I've seen I've worn you down enough that you are, at the very least, willing to hear me out. It's okay, you don't have to pretend that you aren't interested. Though you might want to sit down for this one. And don't take any offense about my asking, but is this place secure? Are you absolutely sure? Alright. I'm choosing to take your word for it as a show of my trust in your ability. I know you still have. And also, I already cased the joint over before you got home, so I'm comfortable accepting that answer. Again, nothing personal. Now, go on, sit down. Have you ever heard of Transference? Well, it's not that surprising. It's a fairly new thing. And fairly underground. And fairly expensive. The idea is that if you're terminal, your brain can be transferred into a new body. And all your thoughts, all your own memories, same will, same identity, just a new body. Yeah, now obviously this isn't exactly regulated. The medical authority hasn't authorized or even recognized it. They're trying not to touch it until they absolutely have to, because it will be a political nightmare. As you can quickly imagine, there is a lot of room for debate over something like this. Also, as you can imagine, this isn't easy to get, nor is it cheap in any capacity. I'm talking big, big money. It's something the top can only dream of obtaining right now. And even then, only with the right connections. But their money can buy those easily. The problem is, there just aren't that many doctors performing it. So they're outbidding each other just to secure the spot before their ticket's punched. I get the feeling you're starting to see where I'm headed, but I'm going to ask you to hold your questions until the end. Now this lovely person is the owner of multiple Tellian mines. These mines produce a variety of precious metals, particularly important in manufacturing off-world vehicles. They're rich. And they happen to be dying. And desperate. They've got X-37, which, as you know, no helping them. At least as they are now. Their body is dying, but if they happen to get themselves a shiny new one, well, then I guess there'd be nothing to worry about. X-37 deteriorates the body, but it leaves the brain alone. Perfectly good organ, ripe for the transference. Which is exactly what they want. And they're trying to find someone, anyone at this point, willing to do it to them. They've got 4 months left. None of the life-lengthening procedures seem to take. How sad. Now, I know what you're thinking. If only there was something we could do. Well, not to worry. Because there is. No, we're not going to find them a doctor. Although we probably could and get a nice little hefty fee for it. But I have something better in mind. Something far more hefty than a finder's fee. Well, how about a transference fee? Just cut out the middleman. Oh yes, I'm very well aware neither of us are doctors. But the beauty of this plan is, we don't need one. I can see you're starting to get a bit confused, so I'm just gonna start getting really plain about it. The transference puts the brain into a new body. They'll look totally different, but the transference transfers everything else about a person. Their memories, their personality. To become someone else, you need an intact brain. Or, at the very least, a really good imitation of it. Imagine if someone learned enough about you. They could imitate you completely. The only problem is, you don't look like them. And if you did, there'd be a lot of variables. Why do you suddenly have a twin? Why is a habit suddenly changed? There are so many nuances to a person that it's easy to slip up. But if you've undergone something as extreme and traumatic as a transference, those slip-ups are easily written off as effects of the procedure. You're expecting them, so you write them off. And besides those, they have the same memories, the same personality. Everything else fits well. So it's passable. Do you get it? I want you to become the Tellian mine heir. imitation is your game. I want you to play it. I have everything else ready. I just need you, and I need you now. Everything else is set up, but I can't execute the plan without an actor. And, like I said, you're the best one I know. If you agree, I will contact the heir and hook them into our process. I've screened them. I know how to play them my way. I need you to play them in yours. Once I get them, I'm making them pay half up front, then half at the end of the deal. In that time, you are going to learn everything you can about them, night and day. You will imitate them flawlessly. So when the procedure is over, you can slip right into their life with access to everything they have. You'd have 1 month to prepare. While you're doing that, it gives me enough time to engage them and their wife. They're married but no children or any other family, and I'm not that worried about getting them on the same page. And it wouldn't be the first time you imitated a lover. What do you mean, what do we do with the heir? Isn't it obvious? When they come in for the procedure, we download their memories. I can use that data to sift through access to their various accounts, as well as anything else that might be useful to us. Then we just finish the job that nature started. Get rid of the brain and return the body. It won't be that hard. Discarding an organ isn't nearly as challenging as getting rid of a body. Not that either of us don't have experience doing just that. We give the body back to the wife. Let her bury it for us. It'll probably get sent to the burners because of the eggs. Even better. If it bothers you, I'll handle that part. I know you've been out of it for a while. Well, it won't be forever, just for a believable amount of time. You'll infiltrate their life, and slowly you'll be going through a mental detachment. Away from the wife, the friends, until eventually you'll disappear and it won't be unexpected. In the meantime, I'll be bouncing around as much capital unnoticed as I can, getting it untraceable to one of our alt accounts. So maybe 6 months or so. I'll have a contract with you and the wife. Our facility will be the only one that handles the physical and mental care of you, and therapy for her. But Transference is an underground matter, and despite the wealth they have, there wouldn't be anyone who could do much for them. And once we disappear, they won't be able to track us. Thanks to me, of course. We'll both undergo a body alter before we make any contact. I will install biometric alters as well. We'll be totally different people. So you'll become someone else, playing someone else. Sounds like the perfect culmination of your skills, doesn't it? Are you starting to see why I needed you? Sure, there are risks, but it's a good plan. As a bonus, the heir is bankrolling the Stay Human movement. Removing his funding will cripple them, and I doubt they'd be able to recover. So if anything, you'd be doing a good deed. Stay Human has become extremist in their prejudice against androids, going so far as to disrupt their colonies, or just outright scrap them. And they've turned their focus to harassing those who even have cybernetics, or any kind of tech integration. Pretty scummy, so I don't really feel bad about taking them out at the knees. In fact, it makes me all the more willing. It also makes it easier that the air doesn't keep their company. I already checked. It's so much easier fooling default human senses, don't you think? I don't think the wife will be a problem. You know how to wine and dine a lady, don't you? Besides, if my information is correct, and it always is, they're not that close. They spend a lot of time apart. They live together, but they don't often sleep in the same bed. So it wouldn't be that far-fetched for you to keep a bit of distance after such a traumatizing procedure. But she's pretty. You know, if you want to close a bit of that distance. But I'll leave that up to your expertise. From what I can gather, she has her own ambitions. So when you disappear, if you leave what we didn't take to her, she'll probably be content with that and won't even bother looking for you. With any more effort than to put on a show, that is. We can easily make her our unwitting ally. There are more details we can discuss in depth before we make the first move. But before any of that can happen, I need you to decide, preferably right at this very moment, if you're in or not. If not, I'll scrape up what I can from this idea, but it won't nearly scratch what we can make if you play this out with me. If you agree, then by the end of this week I am going to give you more credits than I guarantee you've seen in a long time, judging by the state of this place. And by the state of your bank accounts, which I did check before I came here. You didn't hide them very well, but we can work on that. When I say transference is big money, I mean it. If we move forward, I will charge the heir half the procedure up front. 7.5 billion credits. By the end of this week. Oh, there's the look I've been waiting for. Convinced now? I mean, obviously, heir of Italian mine already puts dollar signs in your head. But it's a lot different when you cut down to the actual figures. We need very little outside help to execute this plan, and the help I've already screened is more than happy to do it for a few mil and temporary mine chip and post wipe. Well, we can't simply take the payment and run. I mean, we could, but the heir will still be kicking around for a few more months and could possibly do some damage in that time. Which is a variable we don't need to deal with when that variable has that much money. So best to see them off. Besides, it's not only the money we'll be cashing from this deal. Stay Human has become a front runner in mainstream politics. If we can pull the coffers out from under them, who knows who could take their place? Especially if they suddenly had a little anonymous coin tossed their way. But that's just an idea. Once you have that kind of money, it's no longer about the money. It's about power. And with how rich this job is going to make you, for once in your life, you may just have the opportunity to seize it. However you wish, it's none of my business what you do with it once the job is over. When it's done, we can go our separate ways, and you'll never have to see me again. But what fun would that be? So, are you in?